Welcome back to another episode of Whiskies. All right, so today we're going to recommend 5 whiskeys in order for you to start your bar. Now, we're not just going to recommend just anything. We're going to give you some phenomenal recommendations. A lot of them are very reasonably priced, and there's a reason why we're going to recommend these bourbons, these whiskeys, because you'll see as we discuss them later on. So the very first one, we're going to jump right into it, is Early Times Bottled in Bond. Now, why is Early Times such a phenomenal pour? Well, this one here, not only does it make a good sipper, it is truly a whiskey it's like a Swiss Army knife. You can use it as a sipper, you can mix it. It has sweet caramel notes in there. It has that candy corn. It has citrus, vanilla. It's a very complex, reasonably priced whiskey, and it's only $24. And it's a liter. Now I got the screw top, and I heard the screw top is the best one, but I don't even think the other one, the cork, it can't be too far off from this one. So if you see either one of these for a liter, $24, you can't beat that. So we highly recommend this one as a good mixer and a good sipper, a go-to whiskey. And so Early Times Bottled in Bond, and as you can see, it won many awards, many years in a row. So that's the first one. Now we're moving right along. Now the next one is one of my favorites. Is Rare Breed Barrel Proof Bourbon. Now this one right here is just a phenomenal pour. It has that sweet leather note in there. It has orange, mint, brown sugar, vanilla. It has, you definitely feel the proof. And it is truly a whiskey you must have on your bar because it makes phenomenal cocktails, but you also can sip on it too as well. So this one, reasonably priced as well. I think maybe $45 at the most. So that'll be the second whiskey we recommend for you for your bar. Now moving right along, we're going to number 3. Now number 3 is also easy to find, but it's a little pricier, but you will not regret it. This is one of my favorite whiskeys today. Now, if I was to have to compare the two of these, if I was to choose between one of them, I can have them every time. I'm going Elijah Craig all day long. It's just something about Elijah Craig. It just truly has every note that I enjoy. It is such a phenomenal. It has that rich vanilla, caramel, the butterscotch that you're going to get from the whiskey. It is truly a phenomenal whiskey. Now, this one in particular is a C921. As you can see, I had to work my way down. I done had this for 2 years, but I gradually, slowly worked my way down, and I'm right down to here. And this is my second bottle, but I do have a third. I have a backup. And fortunately, my backup is the C923 Whiskey of the Year last year in a lot of whiskey tubers reviews. And this one in particular, C923, is a 13-year, 7-month-old whiskey. I heard up to 17 years of whiskeys in this puppy right here. And also, I got the laser code that everybody's going crazy about, at A23. So I got the good stuff ready to go. I'm looking forward to cracking this open, reviewing it not too long, but probably even before I finish this off. But we will be reviewing that C923. So Elijah Craig is truly a phenomenal whiskey. It's probably my top 5 whiskeys to go to. So we'll recommend Elijah Craig as the third whiskey. Now the fourth one is one you're gonna have to do a little hunting for. This one is in the Weller family, and they make some phenomenal juice. They really, all of the Wellers are phenomenal to me. All the ones that I've had the 107, I've had the Green Label, I've had the Foolproof. I've also had the William LaRue Weller, which I still got a smidget in there now, and that is truly some phenomenal juice. But the one I recommend you may have to do some hunting for, but it is that Weller's 107. This is some phenomenal juice. It's gonna get the cherry notes, the dark fruits in there, brown sugars. It's got an old aged sweet oak flavor in there. So you're gonna feel that oak tannins, but you're truly gonna enjoy it. It's a phenomenal sip. So I highly recommend this one as the fourth whiskey for your bar. Now, the final one, and we'll explain why I'm recommending this one. This is a one-in-a-lifetime whiskey, but you can find them, right? A one-in-a-lifetime whiskey. Now, what do I mean by that? Meaning a whiskey that will never, ever be produced again. But this particular company are literally putting out some phenomenal juice. And we're talking about none other than, as you can see, I already got it in a nice box. Bardstown Bourbon. Anything from Bardstown Bourbon from their collaboration series are usually one and done. Now this one in particular, they did do a second collaboration on it, and this is the Chateau de la Borde. This is the second batch. This is the second batch. And they did the first one. I heard the first one was way better than this one. But I'm gonna be honest with you. This batch 2 is so delicious. It is so good. I never had batch 1, so I have nothing to compare it to. But batch 2 is phenomenal. And you know what's funny? I'm interested to know, because I remember watching a lot of tubers that had the first one and had the second one. They all said the second one was good, but they said the first one was way better. You know, as I work my way down into it, I'm gonna be honest with you. This has gotten even better in time. So I'm gonna challenge some of those whiskey tubers to maybe go sample back into their old Chateau de la Borde to see if it's gotten better, because the last time I had it, it was phenomenal. So the reason why I would recommend anything from Bardstown, their collaboration series, is because it's literally a one and done. The blends that they use, the collaborations that they have, are usually something that you'll never ever get again. So once it's gone, it's gone. And so it's always good to get one of these. They can be a little pricey, but you're looking at something that you have for a long time, especially if you appreciate it the right way. All right, so those are my 5 whiskeys I highly recommend for you. And I do have a one that I'm going to mention too as well, so you can say this is a little plus one. And it's a plus one because I'm not necessarily recommending the particular brand, but the idea. It's a store pick of anything. But this one in particular was the best store pick that I've ever had. It's a Riverset Rye. I actually got it down in Houston, Texas from Grand Liquor. And I remember I was down there and I was talking to the woman there, and I was trying to get the Elijah Craig. No, I was getting the, what did I get from her? I was getting the E.H. Taylor small batch, but she said you had to buy one of our store picks. So I did, begrudgingly. And I was like, I just want to get the E.H. Taylor. I am so glad that I got this from Grand Liquor, Houston, Texas. I mean, this is the most phenomenal rye that I've ever had to date. I have yet to have anything to compare this to. And I think it has to do everything to do with a store pick. I think store picks are very important. So when you're creating your bar, and I know I only gave you 5, but if you want to add an additional one, make sure in that bar you have a store pick. And it could be from any store that you trust. You can go to, there's a lot of local stores in your area. There's a lot of great ones here in this area, but this one in particular is the best store pick that I've ever had. And so I wanted to at least put that out there and give a shout out to Grand Liquor, Houston, Texas. Thank y'all for allowing us to come down there and enjoy ourselves in Houston. That was 2 years ago now. As you can see, I almost topped it off. It is still good. And that's what I'm sipping on right here. And it hasn't changed its flavor. It's still delicious to this day. Wow, that's phenomenal. It's sweet on the top, orange zest on the side. You have that those bacon spices that come through, drizzle of honey, and then all of those rye spices just take its way back to the back of your palate, and it finishes strong. Excellent job with picking this whiskey. All right, so those are the 5 whiskeys I recommend for you starting your bar, plus 1, so it'll be 6 total, meaning a store pick. And so thank y'all for joining us. Hopefully you enjoy the program, and y'all have a beautiful day. Take care.